guy for over 20 years. 20 years. And this guy is a monster. Matter of fact, if I was in a combat environment and I had a foxhole, and those of you that know him, you know what I'm talking about, I would want him in my foxhole. And you're gonna laugh, you're gonna have a great time, but this is one of the top leaders in our company, SCBC, over $2 million a year cash flow, on his way to 3, Mr. John Shin.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, John Shin.
Don't stop. That was great. What a great way to come out. Thank you so much. I've got a few minutes to share with you. I've got a lot going through my head, and so I'm going to get right to it. You know, my parents, 40 plus years ago, came to this country. And we came from a country called Korea. Yes, I am Asian. Yes, I am Asian. You know, it's hard to tell these days. I was born Caucasian. I removed the caulking and I got Asian, you know. But my parents came from South Korea. Because I know you're watching news and you're going, wow, the North Koreans and all that. My parents came from South Korea. And even if we were from North Korea, I would still tell you we were from South Korea. But mom and dad were the traditional parents. They came here to this country seeking the American dream. They wanted their children to do something with their life. Very traditional Asian parents, and we had no choice. We had to become one of two things. It was either become a doctor or a
engineer.
Exactly. And so I didn't go down the path of medicine or becoming a physician, so I went down the other path. I got into law, and I ended up in the DA's office in Orange County. Some of you look familiar. I'm not quite sure if you've ever seen each other. I'm kidding. I'm sure I've never seen you down there. But anyway, my parents, all these years, were not happy with the fact that I didn't stay in the medical field or in the legal profession. And when I told them that I was going into financial services, they were devastated. They were absolutely devastated, right? I mean, you know, traditional Korean parents coming to this country, wanting to give their kids an education and becoming a lawyer. And so they weren't all that happy. But 20 years later, my parents are in this room today. They sat in the recognition program last night. They sat right there in that first row. And when the screen showed up and it said $2 million, my parents looked at me and said, "You aren't selling drugs. I'm so proud of you. You did it." I looked at my parents and I said, "Mom, thank you so much for having the courage to come to this country to give us a chance to live the American dream." And so I wanted my parents to know, we did it, Mom and Dad, we did it, all right? Thank you. I want to thank all the veterans in this room. Is our veterans in this room? Yes? Any veterans in? Can we give them a big round of applause? My goodness, I can't imagine myself going onto the battlefield and here you have served this nation for what we have today, and the words cannot even come out of my mouth to describe how we feel about your genuine, you know, work and your effort every day on that battlefield. But I wanted to tell you real quickly that I want to thank my wife. My wife is in this room right now. She is here somewhere in the front row down here, and there she is over there. And, you know, she is my upline. She recruited me into the business. And so I'm grateful for that. And let me just tell you, when we first met, if you want to be successful in this business, you got to become a master closer. You really do. You've got to be the master. Always be closing. The ABCs, always be closing. When I fell in love with my wife, I closed her. Really. I mean, I got down on my knees and I said, would you like to marry me on August 13th or August 20th? What day is it?
Alternate choice. Alternate choice.
She said, I'm busy on August 20th. And I said, August 13th it is. Make sure you bring your crew. I'll be there with mine. We had over 1,500 people at our wedding. 13 groomsmen. We've been married for 22 years, sorry.
Big mistake.
22 years, and we just paid off our wedding last week. We're so excited. We're officially debt-free. But I just, oh man, what an incredible business partner she is. But no, really, you've got to be, I mean, seriously, if you look at all the beautiful, beautiful spouses, all the female spouses up here and the men, have you noticed that most of the guys are not the greatest looking guys? they're the master closers. I mean, you got to be really good at closing. If I saw a really attractive woman, I saw an ugly husband, I'll recruit him because he is the salesman, right? In your chair and you say, oh, this is it. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to be on that stage. I'm going to have my speech. I'm going to have my parents beside me. You got it. That's great. But now once you get out of this auditorium, this arena, and you go home, that's when reality starts to hit. When everything begins to settle down, will you be here next year?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
You know, Monty says when it's all said and done, more is said than done. Some of you talk big, you're going to be here, but let me just tell you what you've got to do when you get home. When you get home, you got to change your habits. And that is not easy because we are all creatures of habits. You've all heard these motivational speakers say things like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing what? Over and over and over and expecting a different result. And many of you will go back and you will go back to your natural realm. You're going to do your natural things that you're accustomed to doing on a daily basis. But I want you to know that you've got to change your habits. And it's not going to be easy. It's hard for me too. You know, one day I was in the shower and the shower head was coming down this way and I leaned my head back to shower and I had a habit of always turning to my right. So I would always turn this way to rinse and I'd always turn back. And then the next day I wake up, I always turn this way, and I always turn back. The following day, I turn this way, and I turn back. And one day I said, today I'm going to change my habits. And so I turned this way, and felt so uncomfortable, I went all the way back. I get it. I do. But you've got to change your habits.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
It is.
You know, I recently purchased a car. A few years ago, I bought a brand new Mercedes, right? One of those two-door SL 500s. I got the low-profile wheels, tinted the windows, going to a BPM. And I got in my car, I'm driving to the BPM, I'm so happy, just got my windows all tinted, just cruising down in Southern California, down Ventura Boulevard, and I'm just, I got the boom music going on, and all of a sudden, whoop, 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 whoop.
The police.
There's a cop behind me, and I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding? I wasn't speeding. Oh, this guy's gonna nail me for my tinted windows. I immediately rolled down my windows. I don't want to fix a ticket. And I pulled over. Police officer rolls up to my door side. And he says, sir, I need your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. I'm going to reach over to the glove compartment and I'm going to pull out all that stuff. Just be careful. Watch my hands. Here we go. I pull it out. I hand it right over to the officer. He turns around and goes back to his car. And I can't see a single thing because it's in the evening. I'm on my way to the BPM. I'm being pulled over right in the driveway of my office building.
Oh, wow.
Lights are going on. I can't see anything through my rearview mirror. And he pulled, about 2-3 minutes later, he comes up. And he walks up to my car and he says to me, "Excuse me, are you John Shin?" Maybe. Why do you ask? World Financial Group? I'm thinking maybe he bought a policy and left. I was terrified. I was like, yes? He says, "I can't give you a ticket." And I don't know what possessed me to ask him, "Why not?" I don't know what I was thinking, what I did. I said, "Why not?" He says, "I'm one of your associates in the Burbank office." He goes, "Sir, could you step out of the vehicle?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." He get out of the car. Next thing he says, "I got a few questions about building a big base shop." I'm thinking to myself, oh my Lord. All my associates are pulling up, guests are pulling up, and there I am standing there being questioned by a law enforcement officer. There are some fringe benefits in recruiting, you understand that? There are some fringe benefits. Let me just tell you this. I want you to know how incredible this business is. There will be a day, seriously, where we're going to be at an airport, and people in Vegas, wherever we go, I'm going to call up Dan Charlier. I'm going to call up Eric Olson. I said, "What's for dinner?" And they're going to say, "Oh, well, let's go have dinner in San Francisco. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to Chicago. And we're gonna get to an airport. Should we take your plane or mine?" The planes, the tailgate numbers will be your agent codes. Las Vegas Tower, are we clear for takeoff? 9649 Tango Tango. Team Revolution is clear for takeoff. Literally 1,000 planes are gonna lift off the ground. It's gonna shoot up in the air. 1,000 planes going to Sacramento, wherever for dinner, and all these people down below are gonna go, "Wow, it's war." You damn right it's a war. It's a war against financial illiteracy. Other people are saying, "What is that?" Those are World Financial Group associates going to dinner. And some people are going to be sitting there saying, "Damn, I should have never quit." Monday morning, you're all going to go back to your JOBs. Unlike some of us, who were going to sleep in just a little bit. On Monday, I want you to put on your best threads, your best suit. I want you to have some confidence in yourself. Because that's how you were created. You were created in His image. Amen. And I want you to walk into your jobs on Monday morning And I want you to walk out there around 11 o'clock in the middle of your pit where all those cubicles are. And then when you see your boss walking out in that warehouse hallway or whatever it is, walking around with their clipboard looking cool, I want you to step out of your cubicle or office and I want you to look at your boss. And I want you to look at him or her and say, hey! And your boss is going to turn around and look at you. And then when you get that person's attention, I want you to say it again one more time, right from your gut. Hey! A little WFG swag. And your boss is going to walk over to you. What is your problem? Now everyone in that office is going to come out of their cubicles and office. And I want you to look at your boss and say, what's somebody like me got to do around this joint to make $250,000 part-time? And when your boss looks at you and says, I've been here for 30 years and I don't make $250,000 full-time with bonuses, let alone part-time, then I want you to look at your boss and say, well then what are you doing on Tuesday night at 7? You understand? We did not come to this country to screw up this opportunity. Most of you don't even know who your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather is. But let me ask you this. If they left you behind a few $1 million, you might know your great-great-great-great-grandfather. I want you to know that the generations to come in the Shin dynasty will have this picture in every single letter.